done and will be done. God, we thank you for everything and those that are here, and we ask that you bless us all, and as we leave tonight, keep us safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Here.
Here. Sarah. Here. Phillips. Here. Lynn.
Here.
Bradford.
Here.
Tatum.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Bass.
We have a good crowd here tonight. It's good to see everyone. I hope this continues. Sometimes we look out and it's an empty room, so it's nice to see all of you here this evening. You have before you a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So
moved.
Second.
Good motion. Motion by Phillips, second by Lemmings. All in favor of accepting the minutes from the last meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have before you a copy of the treasurer's report. Do I hear a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second. The motion and second to adopt the treasurer's report. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? You have before you a copy of the appropriations analysis. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
It's been motion and second to approve the appropriations analysis. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? County Roads and Equipment Report, you were emailed a copy. But I will cover it since we have so many people in the building that didn't get a copy of that. Most of the month has been spent dealing with the effects of excess rainfall. We are in the process of completing the disaster claim back in August of 2017. We completed the roads washed out by the floods in February when we ended up with 20 roads underwater. Grading roads has been a challenge. We have only been able to grade 11 and a half days. We got to grade today so we can up that count to 12 and a half days so far this year because we've either been too wet, too rainy, or too frozen. The road crew has been working on old equipment that had previously been considered junk. We even had repair people that told us that it was irreparable, but our repair people got a hold of it, fixed it, and they've got some of those pieces of equipment purring like kittens. And I'm very proud of the work that they have done to save us money. Because of equipment we're not going to have to replace, and because of their efforts, we have saved in the first 2 months an estimated $200,000 on equipment that we're not going to have to replace. So I'm very, very proud of the road department. Also, the road department is working with other county departments, such as the Sheriff's Department and Solid Waste. We're working to do work for each other when we can. That saves on towing bills, repairs, maintenance, a lot of which was being done from sources outside the county. That's all being done in-house now. We're just building each department within ourselves instead of paying an outside source. I think it's the right thing to do, and it's working very well with our new sheriff. Hopefully the weather will break soon and we can get out and fix some roads. Lucas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you all for being here. Judge, is this not wonderful?
This is
I've
great.
seen this room pretty empty before. It's very nice to come in and see people that do want to know what's going on in our county. So that being said, I'm going to let you know what the Sheriff's Department is doing. Animal control, which is controlled by the Sheriff's Office, also funded by the city. January's monthly reports was 35 county calls, 12 dog pickups, 0 cats. City calls, we had 10. Dogs, we had 2 pickups. Cats, we had 2 pickups. For a total of 45 calls, 14 dog pickups, 2 cat pickups. Now we get to the CID and patrol report. The CID reports 24 misdemeanors, 27 felony cases, 15 call-outs, 3 misdemeanor arrests, 6 felony arrests. The patrol, and this can be broke down if anybody has any questions, but it's going to be for total contacts, 1,117 total contacts in January for 30 days. The detention center, we had an intake total of 87, 76 broke down, 76 intake by Van Buren County, 4 by Fairfield Bay, 7 by Clinton Police. We've released 56, 13 for Van Buren County, 3 for Fairfield Bay, and 10 for Clinton Police. Total inmates as of 2/6/2019 incarcerated is number 42. We also have upped our numbers to 6,309 inmates. We're at full capacity there. We are only at 6 federal inmates at this point due to our recent government shutdown. We are in the process right now of renegotiating the contract with them. We did, in fact, yesterday pick up 3 more feds that are in-house due to some errors on our contract. They do have to go to court, and they have to go back to their original facility. But when we redo the contract, we will no longer be transporting from 4 other facilities, which is stated in our current contract. That's what I have. Anybody got any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are we having problems with SNP taking animals?
With what?
The animal patrol people, are we having problems with them actually taking animals?
Yes. They're full capacity, yes.
Okay. Because the reason I had a complaint about dogs running loose in downtown Clinton, and we're not fixing it.
Until we get some of those moved out, we have no room to put them. We have nowhere to put any animals. So I know in the middle of January they did take care of that problem, but it was immediately filled back up. So until
What's our officer doing if he's not doing that?
he is right now he is serving papers for us, and he's also doing fed runs for us because it takes 2 certified officers to make those runs. So when he don't have calls, he's going on fed runs and also serving papers for us.
Yeah, I know the other day we were 2 weeks out.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Thank you.
I just have a comment. If you could provide us with a copy of the report, that'd be great in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still building it, so it's not exactly the way I want it, but it will be. We'll provide it. No problem. Want it in a packet?
Do what? No, we just want your report.
Okay, to hand it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Sure. Anything else?
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll hear from the Van Buren County Library.
I had got the opportunity to talk to you, and so thank you for talking to me. I also want to thank all of our supporters that are here in the library. That's why they came to support the library. I had sent out a packet, in your packet, something, but I have something else for you to look at. The reason why we're here tonight is we built a beautiful library in 2015. And as y'all know, the gas and oil was pumping good, and we had a very much excess. And, well, that's not so anymore. As you know, you work for the county, and so we've been working on a solution. One of the things trying to go into in 2020, I had to make some hard decisions and make some major cuts. So that first page that I handed you out is what I cut out of our budget. We were open 6 days a week. We're going to be open 5 days a week now. We're going to be closed on Fridays. So that is going to save us $57,352.64 in personnel. We cut our book budget $6,000. Our internet, we get E-rate anyways, but it went down, so we were able to save $4,800 on that. Travel, we're not paying our courier service. We courier between Faulkner County, and that is saving us $3,000. And with being closed on Fridays, we're saving in gas and electricity and water. And so overall, that's a $17,444. So overall total was $74,396.17. On the next page, if you will look, it tells you how much money in materials and services for every dollar the library provided last year spent in our county, which was $5.89 on every dollar spent in our county. Over on one side it tells our usage, and then on the other side it's the value to Van Buren County. Also, you know that I'm retiring. I put my retirement in October of last year. I've been working on a degree for the last 3 years in a different profession. When my son went back to school, I decided that I would go back to school. And so instead of hiring out of house, we decided to move it around, and the library board hired Andrea Singleton to take over my place, which I'll be leaving in June. And so then I have Philip from the library board, if you have any questions, but he's here to talk a little bit.
Oh, okay. As you mentioned, we have made some cutbacks. I think a couple of years ago we came and y'all agreed we were able to do a voluntary tax. That has brought in some additional revenues. But even with the cuts that we've made in personnel, different things that we're doing, there is going to have to be something more drastic done. And that's why it's time that we came to you as the forum board, the government of the county, to help us work and look for solutions. There's going to be several parts that will have to come into play. One is going to take additional revenue. We're going to, I guess, main thing is in the communication is to make sure we don't get misinformation. I've heard in the past you can go to 5 meals for a library. I'm finding out you definitely can't do that. But I think the part of what's going to be necessary is an increase in the millage. So at the very least, I think we'll have to come to you or the people to look for at least a 1 mil increase. I don't know if it can go higher than that to help the situation, to relieve the situation. It could actually require more than that. That would be one prospect of it, one thing that we'll have to do. Main thing is we want to be able to open the open communications, the judge's office as a resource. So we found out some information through the Arkansas counties that we had falsely assumed some of the things about millage. So we definitely have to have a resource there. With increased revenues, it's going to be going back to revisit our bond issue, our lease. So we'll probably have to extend that out some years. My hopes and dreams were always to have it paid, taken care of as short as possible. At the time that that this was done, we were very optimistic. We had made our assumptions based on worst case scenarios, based on MCF values at that time. I think when we got into the deal, the MCF values were fixed for a 5-year period. At some point that changed. It went to a 3-year rolling average. So of course, not only did the volume and the production go down, I think volume went down, declined by about 47%. The value of the MCF decreased by about 38%. just to refer to my notes to try to give exact figures. But this is what we're all up against. You know, y'all have seen the downturn in revenues also. Part of what we've included is a list of millage rates throughout the county and the state. I think Searcy County in particular, I think they are at a 3 mil rate on theirs. I think the highest one I noticed was the city of Pine Bluff is 4.7 mils. So there's a variety of ways and things that different areas do. I think Mississippi County in particular, they actually have a county-wide sales tax dedicated to the library. We know something has got to change. We're here to start the process. I mean, somebody asked for my plan A. My plan A would be somebody to step forward for naming privileges of the library and make this all go away. And you know, and that's part of it, kind of getting the word out here. You know, we all know a different group of people, and I have no doubt there is somebody somewhere that is in the circumstances that they would want to do that. So we're asking all of you and everybody here, you know, put the word out. You know, that is an option, naming rights. But I want to come before court. Can the library offer that, or does that have to come before the court? Or, you know, that's there again, education in the process. We want everybody to take a part in it. I think Lucas noted the wonderful crowd here. How many is here for the library and in support of the library? It is, and I hope every one of you, I'm sure, has been at the library. It is one of the most wonderful assets, one of the greatest endeavors that we've done in recent times. So we're all proud of what we got. Now we've got to figure out a way to keep it going so we can all enjoy continued success. How much details or history, I can go back from 1949 on up to today's date and offer different things. But we've certainly been impacted by the, like I say, the volume, the downturn in the MCF values. As we understand, the ongoing litigation has even cost the library, I've been told, as much as $150,000 in the last 2 years. So this is all revenue that we're doing without and trying to get by and manage, and we want to continue supporting our library and doing all we can. But I don't have a definite true-cut plan A or a definite proposal to make tonight. The main thing is that we just all need to be looking at it, hopefully working together to find out solutions for that. Any questions or suggestions?
Bill, I'll say one thing. It's, even if voters wanted a millage increase, which they have to vote on to do.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at 2020 or 2021 before you see any benefits from that.
Yes, sir.
That's not going to help you.
Well, it won't be, it'll help at that time. I think that will be a part of what we'll have to go to in renegotiating our lease, bond, things like that. If we go to them as the circumstances are now, they have no reason, you know, if we stretched it out to a 100-year lease, there's probably, they're going to say, okay, where's your debt coverage? And there's not going to be the debt coverage there.
We're talking, what, about $300,000 you need right now?
Our current payment, no, we're actually paid for this year. Our current lease payment right now is $330,000 a year.
Okay.
Our first payment we made was $1 million on a $3.1 million project. We think that's being very prudent with the, you know, there's very few homes that are built that somebody can pay 1/3 of the price down immediately. We were overly optimistic. We, you know, could have moved to this and said we want to make a 20-year deal based on the numbers at the time. We opted to shorten it. We have basically now 7 payments left at $330,000 on the lease. But we're not going to be able to continue $330,000 annual payments. That's what we're trying to start out, because there again, there was some misinformation. People had said, I'd been told, you know, if the mills increase today, it's on next year's tax returns. I said, no, because, and so that's being cleared up. We've got a long ways to go on our learning curve, and that's why we're here, to make y'all fully aware of it.
Are you going to be able to go back to the bank and renegotiate terms on the loans?
If I have something to offer, I would hope so. If I have nothing to offer, I mean, I don't think they would want to talk to me. there's just not very many options.
Not with the court here, no.
Yeah. I mean, additional revenues are gonna have to come about. Basically, that's key one in the negotiation strategies. But yes, we do intend to, we'll have to go back to the bondholders, the White River Planning Development, who actually released the building from. But funds are obligated for the lease, for the bond payments, things like that. The obligation now is out there, and it is countywide, affects the whole county.
Philip, when was the last time you got an increase in your millage? I know it's been that way for many years.
The library mills,
Right,
same as it was in 1949.
you still at 1
It's
mill.
been one mill from day one. And I think you'll see on the sheet that it actually, 2018, there were probably 4 or 5 listed on there that did do sizable increases. Some of those, I think, they were allowed to go, I think, say to the 4.7, because apparently if it's a part of a building project, you can do a larger mill increase. My understanding is 1 mill at a time is all that we can go up. There again, that's part of the fact finding that I'll be relying on the judge for. We'll be checking every venue, but it's been 1 mill from day one.
I know Searcy County's more financially stressed than Van Buren, and they're paying 3 mills.
Yeah, they're a 3 mill. 1 mill, I mean, if I've got my numbers right, I hope they do, a 1 mill increase, which that doubles our library mill. If I understand right, say on a $100,000 house at an 80% assessment rate, I think is correct, you're looking at $80 a year increase. Or 20-something cents per day, actually, went ahead and figured that out. So it's not, I mean, yes, but we hate to have to even come ask for that. At 1 mills, based on our current average, it's about a 2.26% increase in the total liability of an individual based on current mills. I don't see there being a way to do anything without some type of increase. At one time, I was told it could be the quorum court to approve an increase. Apparently, that's not the correct way. We'll actually be circulating a petition to get the appropriate number of votes or signers to where we could place it on the ballot.
That's only 100.
Yeah, and I think I get most of those behind if we have it. But what we want to know is, I mean, we want to be sure when we're taking that petition and we are asking people to sign, is 1.5 mil increase a possibility? Is 2 mil increase a possibility? I don't think it is. We're going to make all those, and then we've got to get out there and sell people.
Right now, we're locked down to 2 total.
Well, that's my understanding of play.
Well, and it looks like with that, what you projected in savings a year, that going to a 2 mil looks like it would be enough, it looks like with that savings.
Yeah, pretty much with the savings. I feel, I mean, it's not like we're gonna have money to blow or anything on personnel or anything like that. But my hopes would be that the 1 mil increase, based on what it would bring in, would be our debt coverage. The other mill would be covering most of, basically covering operating expenses. I think our last year, our mill bought in $265,000 or something like that. It's tough to make $230,000 or $330,000 payments on.
Well, and I thought that I had calculated it at like 350 is what it about had brought in, but maybe I was looking at that wrong.
I'd say it probably helped if I'd actually looked at the numbers that you got written down.
Okay, yeah, I had 351.
353.
351 is what I
I think our
calculated.
part was 351, 185.95.
So if that doubled, that would be around 700, and with these cost reductions, expense should be around 600. So that should leave 100 buffer, kind of, in case it fluctuated. And then
Right.
I wondered about the SWIN, if that comes through, could be a bonus too. I don't know if we have any idea on exactly how much that would be or how long we're looking
I
at on
think
that.
with the increased millage, if it did increase, what we'll have to go back to is probably talk to them about doing a refunding the bond, basically doing a whole new bond issue based on $350,000 of revenue coming in. We wouldn't have to add years to it because we could continue making a $330,000 payment. Probably what we're gonna ask for would be an extension on the payment due in January. Get that kicked forward to another year. And sometimes you can, it can be done. There's no guarantee that they won't do it. But I just know no one will want to do anything if we don't have revenue. We don't want to just kick the can down. But we do want to keep the library up.
Is that the only source of revenue you have, is that one meal?
Well, I mean, our volunteers, we have friends at the library that do bring in some money. We do, sell books, raise some funds, but, it's nowhere near enough to know we live off of the mill.
You have a voluntary tax.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that included in what you?
On the three?
That's included in the 350.
Yeah, that was the total. I think the voluntary part alone last year was 13,000. There again, $13,238.10. I think we actually received some in 2017.
We received some in I think the first year that we brought it was 2016, 2017.
Collected for 16 and 17.
Right, and it was $30,000 the first year that we, but then it's went down.
I don't know what impacted that, if the gas company had to pay their volunteers or what, I don't know. We're not be able to, I don't even know if there's a way to assess or access who did pay volunteer, who didn't, I don't know. It would be interesting to know why such a difference. But, this shows 2 years ago, we knew there was going to be needs, revenues were dropping, and we needed to start trying to find replacements for us while we came before y'all and asked for permission to put the voluntary tax on. That's part of what we're going to be doing is promoting the voluntary tax quite a bit more. I think more people would pay it if they realize exactly what it was for. If we never get them in the library, I think they're going to fall in love with us. They're going to want to support us any way and every way we can. Andrea, one of her areas of expertise is in grant writing. So we will be exploring every grant writing figure that we possibly can.
In our county alone, we have 7,200 cardholders in our county. And then we are also partnerships with Faulkner County. So we don't just serve our county. And we also serve a lot of Searcy County residents too that live over in Leslie. But they pay $25 for a library card because they don't pay taxes here. So we do charge for our non-resident free cards.
And we may have to look at putting a fee out there for library cards. We've been very proud that we've not had to, but that will be something we're definitely going to be considering also.
I think one thing that would increase the value of the services of the library is the education. Personally, I didn't know that you could download the ebooks until a couple of months ago, and it was a friend in Boone County that told me about it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think your voluntary tax would go up a lot more if people knew just what exactly you offered.
And we're going to be a lot more aggressive, if it's Facebook or the different
Right.
social medias to get the word out, because I'm amazed at what all we can do and offer at the library. But yes, it gives us access to thousands of titles.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, movies, we're probably about as state of the art as you can be and provide as many services as you can possibly provide in a library.
Phil, give them a worst case scenario, if nothing were done. How long would the library have?
Didn't really want to go to the very worst. Absolutely, if nothing were done, we might can pay in January. It would be really, really close. We can make a payment in January. At that point, we'd be pretty much absolutely zero funds in the bank. Would have to rely on whatever little bit of revenue came in from the millage going on. But we'd probably have to put them on notice that we are going to be in default. At that time, they would be, actually probably come to the county, seek settlement monies from the county. And we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to take care of, get us out of the mess we got us into, basically. It is ultimately a county liability.
So the quorum court understands, we as a county have the obligation first to pay the debt. It's not an option for us not to. So it could be foreseeable and not a, it could be a reality that we're paying on an empty building.
We could shut down the library, use all the money that's generated from the millage, and hope then that that would cover the payment. I don't know that an empty or unoccupied library would violate any aspects of the lease or the bond. That I'm not sure of. There may be something in there that it must be maintained open. I don't think there is in the lease, but yeah, both the things would be paying for an empty building.
Well, I want to say you have a wonderful staff there, and it's very unfortunate that over the years we've let it get to this.
And just so you know, legally, we can't offer any money to the library. We can't do it.
Right. And in an odd way, I'm not coming to the court asking.
Oh, I know,
from,
but just so you know that, and I think it's a wonderful facility myself. If I had $500,000, I'd let you have it.
I would be glad to call it. I don't know. My plan A is for the naming privileges to be at about a $2 billion plus $2.
I couldn't help you there.
But even at that, we would give you 8 years maybe to pay that. You know, and the heck of it is, there is somebody out there. I mean, there's somebody in a position that, and the wherewithal.
I just, you know, I think it's just so important for our county. I know that in our job, we have so many people. Yeah, for my kids, for the people in the community that rely on it just for, to have the internet, to be able to accomplish tasks that they need to accomplish that they can't do without the resource of the library. I know my kids, we've, you know, not done our reading when we should and had to come up there at night and get our books to get our AR points. And I can imagine the other people in the community that have had to do that too and maybe don't have as many resources as I do. So you know, the importance of the library, I mean, I think we all know it to the county and everybody in it.
And we're looking at trying to, you know, we do have a very nice community room. Yes, we might be more aggressive trying to lease that out. There again, a lot of it's been provided as a service. The drivers, state police use it for their driver's test now, every week. Before, I think they've been coming maybe 3 weeks out of the month. We do that. We do have a lot of the service clubs use it, things like that.
Juvenile court uses it.
I guess this is just a information type meeting. Call somebody that you know has got money.
I attended your meeting and I asked them to come present to you guys tonight because I just thought it was important that the community is aware of where we are. Any other questions for these people? Any questions from the audience?
I've got a comment to make, actually. David Jeffries, I'm part of the Friends of the Library. Over the last couple of weeks, we've gone through inventory, both at the library here and also at least one remote station in Damascus. And in fact, we've actually counted, between the two of them, around 80,000 publications, CDs, etc. on the shelves available for use. This isn't including the access we have to other libraries in the group, but in fact we have a phenomenal amount of information available. And as a relatively new person to the county here, I've been absolutely amazed at the use of the computing services that we provide. And I've never seen it to that extent. And one has to remember at this time, and for the children, everything's moving so much to the use of computers, is absolutely vital. It's actually amazing how many older people come into the library and want to use the computers. And we spend quite a lot of resource with the staff there to help them use the computers, because they're not quite as computer literate as we would all like to think we are. But in fact, it's a phenomenal benefit to the county. And I'm very disappointed already to hear that we're losing one day of use. My fear always is if you lose a day, it's going to take many, many efforts to get that day back, which I think is the detriment of the locals and the county. So that is my comment. I don't want to jump on the board and the members' parade, but in fact it's my own opinion.
I would like to say something.
Just so we all know, any member of the audience can speak. You have 3 minutes.
I'll take 1.5. I just would like to point out, when she mentioned the children, we have a couple of Damascus children that are here. And I've seen these children come in and not read very much. And this young lady won in her school for AR points last year. And they continually grow. Our kids need the library. They thrive on the library. So we don't need to lose Van Buren County, because if we lose Van Buren County, we lose Damascus. And our area needs it as far as computer literacy, anything in that regard, it's necessary.
Thank you. Anyone else?
How many people's in the county?
You have 3 minutes.
How many people's in the county?
The last census, 17,295.
So you're a little over $100 per person on the library to keep it open. The library is a necessity. It's not crucial. Everyone gets the internet. It's in your phone. It's all over the world. Buildings are nice. Places to have it. Services are great, but it comes at a cost. Our taxes are already high. And adding $80 to my house in taxes is completely unacceptable. How long have you known that there was a budget issue? That's the real question. You're in a new building in a poor community. You want to do all these great things, and everyone with this great boom. Didn't happen. I've warned a lot of people. It's not going to happen. It's going to die out. I'm from Texas. It goes on all the time. They get in a small community, blows up, and it's gone. Now, we're going to have a building down there that I'm either going to have to pay a lot more taxes to keep it open, and it's going to make it even harder for people to move here because they're not going to want to pay high taxes. A library is a necessity source, but it's not, you can't rank it to the police or fire. Police or fire is crucial. The library is a luxury, but you got to be able to pay for your luxury. And if you had a budget problem back then, you should have fixed it before now. This should have never happened, in my opinion. I'm done.
I just want to say,
yes,
the library is a vital part of the community. It is not only vital to the children, but anyone who needs those resources. A lot of people do not have access to the internet, or maybe they don't have access for printing, or they don't even know the whereabouts. Many of those people come in trying to apply for jobs, looking for opportunities. So with society yesterday, I had someone ask me, why do you need a library? Well, libraries will continue to be a vital part of the educational system. And for Van Buren County, a poor county, we need to provide a library for our community, for not just for our kids, but for our elderly as well. And I do understand that you don't want your taxes. Nobody here wants their taxes to go up. Maybe it should have, but it happens. What are we going to do about it? Because something has got to be done. And it is very important to the people of Van Buren County who want to become part of whatever's happening out there in society. Educational, job opportunities, especially the children and the young people here need it. That's all I have to say.
And I do apologize that we didn't bring this up sooner. We were very optimistic that things were going to improve. We didn't know some of the circumstances that did happen after we got into this obligation. Yes, if we came forward maybe a year or two ago, maybe it would be easier, maybe it would give us more time to work it out. It wouldn't have changed where we were at the time. You know,
But you're over $100 a person, right? Every
Yes,
member
sir.
in the channel, in
Believe
county,
me,
everybody, over
$100
$100 a
hurts
person.
me as much as
Paid his
anybody
library
else. Based on the average millage rates throughout the state, even with a 1 mil increase, we're still well below the state average. So it could be more expensive to live in another county. But anyway,
Another
that's
county,
it.
they're interested. They have industry to help offset the cost.
We all want to
What have
work
we got?
together to draw more industry in. We want to see economic development. I think everybody's on board with that.
Amen. My husband, he's
We'll
for
join you in
years
that effort.
driven out of town to get jobs.
I
I would love for him to work here.
I drive 73 miles one way.
My husband drives 150
Is
every
there any
day.
other
To
questions?
be respectful to those who have the floor is yours for your 3 minutes. And yes, sir.
Thanks, David Emmerling, and I would just like to counter that opinion, and it's not everyone's opinion. My opinion is that the library is more important than the police, or the fire department, or the road department. Those things are all important to me, as to everyone, I'm sure, but really without a library, I'm not going to live here. It's that important to me.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the audience? Are there any hands that I can't see back there? Okay. I'm sure the library board would be happy to stick around to answer questions if you have some you don't want to ask publicly. So we'll look forward to the conversations after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other county boards that would like to address the board? Or any other elected officials? Does anyone from the court have any questions for any elected officials? Not, then we'll move on to our business. First ordinance will be by Justice Sarah Brown.
Being enacted by the Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance to amend the original appropriation ordinance number 2018-59, the annual operating budget for 2019, to increase the projected revenue and appropriate $4,000 into the various county project budget number 1000-804 for the Van Buren County Fair Association. Whereas a building grant was received in October of 2018 for the Van Buren County Fair Association from Arkansas Economic Development in the amount of $4,000. Whereas this grant money will need to be appropriated into line number 3105, Van Buren County Fair Grant. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1 of the annual operating budget for 2019 be amended. Section 2, $4,000 be appropriated into 1000-804-3105 for the Van Buren County Fair Association.
Hear a motion to adopt this ordinance? Second. It's been motioned and second. Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lenz,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019-07.
Next, Bill Holden.
Just so the board knows, there's going to be times that we're going to need to change the handbook. This is one of them. If you haven't gotten a copy of our latest edition of the handbook, you need to have one so you can read through. I spent many hours redoing this along with the committee that we went over. So it's important that each of you know everything that's in that handbook. And if there's any suggestions, please bring forward to me, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to have to ask, though, that we suspend the rules on this.
Well, let's read it first.
All right.
We'll read it one time.
Right, and then we'll suspend it. Being enacted by the Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, An ordinance approving the revision of the Van Buren County Employee Handbook under Section 11, Employee Benefits. Whereas the Employee Handbook was revised and updated with ordinance number 2016-19. Although the Court recognizes that the Employee Handbook will need to be updated periodically, and whereas B, page 11 now reads, the normal work week for most employees shall be 40 hours per week except employees engaged in the profession of law enforcement. The normal work week for law enforcement shall not be greater than 171 hours and a 28 consecutive day work period. And whereas B will be changed to include all employees, including law enforcement. And whereas by changing law enforcement from 171 hours and a 28 consecutive day work period to a 40-hour work period, it will be more appropriate for the current sheriff and staff to keep a closer watch on any compensatory time that may or may not be needed to be worked. Now therefore be it ordained by the Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1, the Van Buren County Employee Handbook be revised under Section 11, Employee Benefits B, to include the 40-hour work period for law enforcement. Move we accept this.
Second. It's been moved and second that we adopt this ordinance. This is an ordinance that will require 3 readings. At this time, I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules to conduct all 3 readings by title only at this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Have a roll call vote on the rule suspension.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
Thank you. Justice Holt, read for the second time by title only.
Being enacted by the Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance approving the revision of the Van Buren County Employee Handbook under Section 11, Employee Benefits.
And the third and final reading.
Being enacted by the Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance approving the revision of the Van Buren County Employee Handbook under Section 11, Employee Benefits.
Thank you. Discussion.
I'm new here, but explain to me how this would benefit.
They'll be going by the normal 40-hour work week instead of trying to figure out the 171 hours, because that has been a problem.
It's always been a problem.
Yes, it has been a problem, so we want to fix it and change it where everybody's on the same sheet of music.
So is that anything over 40 going to be, although it's comp time at time and a half, or is it going to be straight time?
It'll be,
Because under the 171, anything over 160 up to 171 is straight time, and anything over 171 is time and a half.
The way that would work if you do it as the other employees, it would be 40 work hours. So if you had a PTO day or if you had a holiday, that wouldn't be a work hour, that would be paid time that was not work. So that wouldn't count toward going over your 40 for comp time.
So is that straight time or is that time and a half on comp time?
Comp time is time and a half.
Okay, so anything over 40 now will be time and a half.
40 work hours.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And
That
that has,
everybody's on the same page, because
that
it's going to
has
make
to
a
be-
difference in the payroll.
yeah, and that has to be approved by the supervisor.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you guys.
That has to be approved by the supervisor.
Comp time's always been a problem.
Yes, it has, forever and ever. The last 10 years I've been on it.
It's always been a problem.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019-08.
Thank you, Court.
Our next ordinance is sponsored by Gary Lim, but Gary is a little bit short of breath tonight. Brian, would you care to read the next ordinance, please?
I will.
Thank you.
Being enacted by the Court of County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, An appropriation ordinance to amend the original appropriation ordinance 2018-59, the annual operating budget for 2019, to increase the projected revenue and appropriate $6,435.90 into the Sheriff's Office School Resource Officer's budget, number 1000-411. Whereas a letter was received on January 14, 2019 from Mr. Aaron Hossman, Southside B Branch Superintendent, in agreement to pay the Southside SRO the same as the Clinton SRO at $35,006.40 per year, and whereas the additional amount will need to be appropriated into the SRO budget for 2019. Now therefore be it ordained by the Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1, the annual operating budget for 2019 be amended. Section 2, $6,435.90 be appropriated into the Sheriff's SRO budget, number 1000-411. Number 1001, salaries, full-time, $5,158.40. Number 1006, Social Security, $394.62. Number 1009, retirement, $790.27. Number 1010, workers' comp, $92.61. I move we approve as written.
Second. It's been motioned and second that we adopt this ordinance. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019.
Thank you. Our next ordinance will be read by J.P. Bass.
Be enacted by the Supreme Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the original ordinance 2017-39, the annual operating budget for 2018, to transfer and appropriate funds into the 2018 budget for final cleanup purposes. Boating Safety Fund, number 3019, $60.24 from Detention Center, 1,418-2002, small equipment, to 3019-400-3022, cell phone pagers/pager. All other departments will be cleaned up by transfer within each fund and/or department. Now therefore be it ordained and enacted by the Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that these funds be transferred and appropriated to clean up the 2018 budget. Total appropriation, $60.24. I move for its adoption.
Second.
Who's second?
It's been motioned and second to adopt this ordinance. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019.
Next up, we have a resolution which will be read by J.P. Phillips.
Be it resolved by the Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution authorizing the county judge of Van Buren County to apply for a loan for up to $750,000 for quarry equipment used to crush gravel. Whereas banks require a resolution to be adopted by the court to proceed with the loan. And whereas the amount requested is already included in the 2019 budget for both principal and interest. And whereas the entire purchase of equipment, maintenance of said equipment, and payroll will be less than the amounts previously spent in line item 2,227 gravel, dirt, and sand. And whereas used equipment has been found but was quickly sold before a resolution could be passed. Therefore, be it resolved by the Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that the county judge of Van Buren County is hereby authorized to submit an application for a loan in an amount not to exceed $750,000 for gravel crushing equipment. The loan will be through a bank with a local branch in Van Buren County, which offers the best interest rate at the time the loan is to be processed. I move we accept this resolution.
Second.
Motion and second to adopt this resolution. Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass. 2019-03.
2019-03.
Our next resolution will be read by Justice Sarah Brown.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution authorizing the county judge of Van Buren County to apply for a grant on behalf of the Chimes Community Center. Whereas the Van Buren County Quorum Court has determined that the Chimes Community Center meets eligibility requirements necessary to apply for a grant under the Arkansas Rural Community Grants Program. And whereas the Chimes Community Center has presented plans to replace windows and window casings, to install cabinets, and to create wall openings for air conditioning units. And whereas the Quorum Court of Van Buren County recognizes the need for the project, concurs its importance, and supports the efforts to proceed with the same. And whereas the Chimes Community Center has furnished proof that they have raised approximately $4,000 through community cash and/or in-kind donations to be applied to the project as a local match. Therefore, be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that the county judge of Van Buren County is hereby authorized to submit an application, a formal request to the Arkansas Rural Development Commission for the purpose of securing state grant funds in the amount not to exceed $4,000 to aid and assist the Chimes Community Center in executing the proposed project described herein, and that the county treasurer is further authorized to administer the grant funds for the same project.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to adopt it?
Second.
So a motion and a second to adopt this resolution. Any discussion?
Is it still one of the voting places?
I'm not sure, Ms. Sadie, there's someone here from the community center. Is that still a polling place?
No.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019-04.
Thank you. Our next resolution will be read by Justice Lemmings, and there is a blank. The name in that blank will be Kelly Tester.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, the State of Arkansas, a resolution be entitled, a resolution to declare a vacancy on the Van Buren County Library Board and to approve the appointment in order to fill the vacancy. Whereas the Van Buren County Quorum Court has the responsibility and legal obligation to appoint members to the Van Buren County Library Board, and whereas the Van Buren County Judge has received notice that Chad Brown has resigned from the board as of February 13, 2019 due to the conflict of other positions that are being held by him and his wife. And whereas there is a need and a necessity to fill this vacancy, therefore be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1, the Quorum Court of Van Buren County hereby confirms the appointment of Kelly Tester to fill this position. Section 2, term of this begins February 21st, 2019, and will expire December 31st, 2023. This resolution adopted in regular session this 21st day of February 2019.
Do I hear a motion for the adoption of this?
Second.
It's been motion and second to adopt this resolution. Any discussion? Roll call.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019-05.
We have another last-minute resolution that we need to cover at this meeting, which was not presented in the package. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules for the purpose of presenting that resolution at this time.
So moved.
It's been moved and second to suspend the rules for that other resolution. Roll call vote on suspension.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Jennings, Bass.
And this resolution will be read by Sarah Brown. All right, Nikki Brown.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution to appoint a non-elected county employee to sign payroll checks in the absence of the county treasurer. Whereas the Van Buren County Quorum Court has a responsibility and legal obligation to approve the appointment by the county treasurer, and whereas there is a need to appoint an individual to sign payroll checks when and if the county treasurer is absent during payroll, and whereas the individual will be added to bank account number XXXX000 at First Service Bank, and whereas the county treasurer appoints Rita Clark, chief deputy, to the county judge. Therefore, be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Van Buren County, Arkansas, that Section 1, the Quorum Court of Van Buren County hereby approves the appointment of Rita Clark to sign payroll checks in the absence of the county treasurer. And Section 2, Ms. Clark will be added to the bank account number XXXX000 at First Service Bank.
Do I hear a motion to adopt?
I second it.
It's been motion and second to adopt this resolution. Any discussion?
Yeah, I do have a question. Have we checked to make sure it's legal?
This procedure came straight from legislative audit.
Answer that question. That's what I want to know. I think we went through this one before.
That's a good point of discussion. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings,
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
2019-06.
We have some transfers we need to approve. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules for the purpose of dispensing with the audible reading of the transfer. It's been motion and second to suspend the rules to dispense with the audible reading of the transfers. Roll call vote on suspension.
Holt,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bradford,
Yes.
Tatum,
Yes.
Lemmings, Bass.
You have before you a complete list of the transfers. Is there any discussion or any questions about those? Okay. All those in favor of approving the transfers, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Guess that wraps this up. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any against? Thank you.